Hey everybody, it's Wheel Trouble here. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Wheel Trouble Let's Play Battletech. We're going to start this one off with Organized Chaos. It's week 21, day 1. In the morning briefing, Yang jumps right in. Commander, the leopard is too small. My mech techs keep tripping over everything. Chief, we've talked about this. Darius says, in exasperation, we can't exactly knock down any walls. Sumair inserts herself. What if we moved some supplies into the other parts of the leopard? The bunks, the kitchen, hell. I'll even store some boxes in the cockpit if it'll help. I can either tell Yang to make do, only move a small amount of supplies, or fill everything with mech base supplies. Now, if you look, we got a lot of mechs needing repair. Let's give him some breathing room here. Oh wait, we got some story to scroll. Yang rubs his chin. Yeah, if I had some breathing room for a week, I could reorganize and make room for everything to move back. Let's do that. It'll make his mech bay a little bit more efficient. That should get this work done so that I can heal up and actually start the mission, because I haven't even had a chance to look at anything since we met Kamea. So my crew's gonna hate this though. Over the next several days, everyone helps move all of the mech bay supplies to other parts of the Leopard. As a result, emotions get heated over the following week. Lyric gets particularly upset when she trips over an unexpected box of tools. Before long, however, Yang and his technicians reclaim their supplies. His mood, at least, is much sunnier than everyone else's. When you arrive in the mech bay, he's practically glowing, and you can see why. The mech bay has never been better organized. Morale has decreased by 1, so we're back at 25, and the company gains +3 tech points to boost for 30 days. That means that for the next 30 days, everything's going to get done slightly quicker. Thank God. Anyway, see you guys in a few more moments. Okay, and we are still in orbit doing repairs. It is week 23, day 3, and I've got a couple crew members bickering over the last cup of coffee. When you enter the cramped galley, you find Decker and Medusa in a tense standoff in front of a nearby empty coffee pot. This is obviously just stock photo. Decker sees you. Commander, this is the last of the coffee. The XO says we won't have any more until the next supply run. Medusa shoves his way forward. I got here first, and he almost stole it while I was looking for my favorite mug. I can either split it, give it to my navigator, or take the coffee for myself. I think I'm gonna just split it between them here. As tempting as it is to just spite them and give the coffee to my navigator. Exasperated, you squeeze your way past them into the galley and take 2 cups. Pouring the coffee equally into both, you say, if you can't act like adults, we'll have to resolve this like your children. You hand 1 cup to Decker and 1 to Medusa. Drink up. The next time I send you planetside, I expect you to make every single shot. After they leave, Sumair sighs as she stares at the empty pot. That better have been worth it. Now excuse me while I go discuss shopping priorities with Darius. Decker's gained high spirits, and Medusa has also gained high spirits. Essentially, that means that during combat, they'll gain morale just a little bit quicker. Anyway, see you guys next time. I've got to continue some repairs here. Alright, week 25, day 2. I'm still repairing mechs, and it's just more after, one thing after another with these guys. All that profit we made is pretty much gone. Anyway, let's see what this problem's about. In the morning briefing, Darius pulls up an inventory spreadsheet on the Leopard's view screen. We're running a little low on medical supplies, meta patches, trauma packs, a few other things. It isn't critical yet, but I feel better when we're well stocked. Sumair frowns. Why do we keep patching our supplies in dribs and drabs? Can't we get some kind of bulk discount and get ahead of this problem? God knows we'll end up using them. And maybe the doctors can speed up our recovery times for a while. I can spend a lot of money and direct them to find special discounts, buy extra to boost medical efficiency, buy the minimum to restock. At only 5,000. Now, granted, this is pretty much chicken feed. Let's see what we can find. Okay. Later in the week, Darius provides an update. I did some bargaining with some, unlicensed medical distributors. The selection was a bit random, but they had lots of it. He always looks a little smug after a successful negotiation. We could make these supplies last longer at our previous consumption rate. Per your instructions, however, I've directed the staff to use the surplus to accelerate recovery times as much as possible for the next month. I lose 10,000, but I gain 2 medical points for the next 30 days. But nobody is hurt, so it's kind of a meh. Anyway. Priority mission: Lady Arano's contract to liberate Weldry is ready for review in the command center. We should follow up when you think we're ready. Personally, I'm going to go ahead and fight some more, try to upgrade to a heavier class of medium. See you guys in a few moments. Alright, let's go ahead and finish off this episode by starting the contract here, the story contract. As you can see, I've got quite a bit more money and done quite a bit of work with my crew. So, first strike, the Arano Restoration. Travel to Weldry to carry out our first major operation against the Directorate. We'll brief you more fully when you arrive, and prepare yourself, Commander. After this drop, we will be at war. Welcome to the big leagues, Commander. After we pull the trigger on this one, everything is going to change. For us, for Lady Arano, hell, the whole Oregon Reach. Good payday, good salvage. Let's go.
Calculating course now, Commander.
And due to technical difficulties, this is actually the third time I've recorded this stupid section. I don't know what the deal is, but my settings changed in my recorder, and so it was just recording the game audio, and it took me a while to catch that. And so if things seem a bit short, abbreviated, or if I leave things out thinking I had said them, that's why. Consequently, this episode's going to be slightly shorter, but the next one, episode 11, where we actually go into combat, that one's going to be about an hour. So it'll make up for this one being a little bit on the short side.
Disengaging from junction.
But oh, is it an hour that's definitely worth it. Okay, and Behemoth is back in action. You know what's interesting is the ship kind of shakes a little bit. Seems kind of odd to me, because in space it shouldn't actually encounter any real vibration. We've arrived at Weldry, Commander. Ready to proceed with our current contract? Oh yes. First strike. In orbit, Weldry. Weldry, one of the most notorious hellholes in the Oregon Reach. Everything about this place is hostile to human life. For the past 3 years, Espinosa has used it as a dumping ground for his political enemies. The Directorate has a prison complex on the planet's surface. The inmates call it the Icebox. The image of an imposing structure appears on your view screen. It has the solid, heavy walls that you've come to associate with the Tarian architecture. It's a holding facility for political prisoners, including high-value hostages, members of the founding families, spouses, sons, and daughters. If we liberate the prison and set them free, we break Espinosa's leverage over the founding houses. The political map will change overnight. We don't know what the Directorate has been doing to our people in there, but we have to set them free, not just for political gain, but because they're our people. We need your help to do it. This first answer I don't really like, or just on the basis of the fact that most nobility has some sort of battle mech, and while they might not be warriors per se, not hardened warriors at any rate, they still have weapons of war, and 9 times out of 10 have some sort of training in how to use them. So powerless is kind of interesting, especially considering like even Kamea is a fairly competent pilot in her own right, and you'll notice that she's in a founding family. Right, so I'm going to bounce past that one. I need to know what I'm about to send my lance into, what makes Weldry so inhospitable. That's the one I'm going with. Everything, from the sub-zero climate to the inedible vegetation. The whole planet is infested with blood-sucking insects. The swarms can stretch for miles. You're shitting me. Thank you, Vertanen. I'm afraid not. They're called Branson's mosquitoes. Imagine a colonial biting fly the size of your thumb. They serve as carriers for harmful bacteria. And you're dropping an infantry in there? On purpose? The army will be safe. Population centers like the Icebox use ultrasonics to keep the swarms at bay. But thank you for your concern, Mr. Vatanen. Yeah. Anyway. If I seem a little tired, that's because I'm doing this immediately before bed. I didn't have too much time today. Subtle decisive action. I will lead the army in an all-out assault on the Directorate's primary spaceport. After I've drawn their attention, you will sneak in, attack the icebox, and liberate it. We'll set my uncle's hostages free and put the founding families in our debt. All in one fell swoop. In my experience, operations of this scale rarely go according to plan. That is perfectly in line with Sun Tzu's The Art of War. That's my selection. I know, Shrike, and that's one of the major reasons why I need you on this drop. You adapted to the chaos of the battlefield on Coromadir. I'll be counting on you to do the same here. I'll remain in radio contact with you after we hit the ground. Good hunting, Shrike. Give my uncle's troops the hell that they have earned. After the Directorate presence on the planet has been crushed and the icebox has been liberated, we'll regroup to celebrate our victory. Alrighty. As you can see, we've done quite a bit of tunning up here. So, we have that. I've got my best pilots as far as I'm concerned. However, I'm going to want to put myself in something with jump jets. So I'm going to switch with Behemoth there. And with my initiative, I get to go with a lighter class of people. That's thanks to Decker and I being tacticians. Another thing that's good to note before we go ahead and drop in on this is that I'm sitting here at a good medium drop tonnage, and the difficulty up here is one head lower. So I'll probably take some damage, but I shouldn't lose anybody, and repair bills shouldn't be too high. It won't be pretty, but I should make it through all right.
Men warriors, prepare for...
At any rate, I'll see you guys actually have some fun. Wheel Trouble out.